So, guys, this is my review for Spirit Chronicles episode 7. And with that, guys, let's just jump right into this review of episode 7. Let's get it. With the opening of the episode here, we just pretty much dive into the fact that Rio has been traveling for 2 weeks to get back to the Yagumo region, which is where his mother and father that's basically where his family lineage came from. His mother and father used to live here, and he basically, like he's been saying, he's been wanting to keep his promise to get home, so that he can just be here and gain some information, in which we do get some key information about his parents, and some other stuff moving forward in this episode when it's pertaining to episode 7. A few minutes into the episode, Rio meets villagers. He actually says this. He says, like, all of them have black hair. I know I mentioned a couple of reviews ago where I talked about that, noticing that maybe it was episode 3 even, that the kingdom that he was residing in and everything like that, like, actually no, I believe it was episode 5's review, where when he was at that specific town, that I believe 1 or 2 people noticed that he had black hair. Everybody around him, everybody back at the kingdom, everybody had different color hair except for him. He was the only one that had black hair. And basically, here in this village, there were a lot of the villagers that had black hair. So this affirms for him and confirms to him that he indeed belongs in this region that his parents resided in all those many years ago. But he comes here and he meets this lady, the head of the village. Her name is Yuba. The 2 young ladies there, their names are Rui and Seo. They bring him to her, and he's, as politely as he can be, he's basically introducing himself to her and talking to her and just telling her why he's here, where he's traveled from far to come here, and he's talking to her about why he's coming here and his reasons for being here, and of course he's basically talking to her about his parents and stuff like that, and their connection to the region here. But we find out some key information about his parents and even Yuba herself. During his conversation with Yuba, and that's the thing, like, Rui and Seo, they were there, but once he mentions some stuff about his parents, she basically sends them away because they need to have a very serious conversation. Once Rio tells once he tells Yuba his mother and father's name, she recognizes the names, and then we find out, she says that that Rui's father is her son, which then turns into, this is his grandmother. And so, of course, he's shocked. She's, of course, a little bit shocked, but probably more so delighted, the fact of knowing that she still has some lineage out there. She has a grandson here, and that's the thing, obviously, because they are related per this conversation. Now that they found out he's her grandson, she's his grandmother, that he's also related to one of the villagers here at the village too. So this was some great, just a great conversation here between him and Yuba in this moment in time here in episode 7. And then during that conversation between him and Yuba, he actually talks to her about wanting to give his parents a proper burial, because basically his father had died when he was a baby, if I remember correctly what he was saying, and then his mother died around 5 years old. So he was saying to Yuba, to his grandmother, that I wanted to give them a proper burial here in this region, but because because they found out that they're related, she says, well, it's great that you want to do that, but we already have a burial site for them, and it is not that far from the village. It's right here. It's these rocks here, and that he's paying his respects to his parents and keeping the promise about coming, keeping the promise to his mother, more so about coming here coming back to the region. So just really just a great moment for Rio, definitely for his grandmother, but definitely for him to be able to know that his parents have been properly buried here in this village. As the episode progresses, Rio, he's basically just like getting acquainted with everybody in the village, and he he also shows off his spirit magic and stuff like that during cooking and stuff like that. So he ends up going hunting with Sheen. Sheen is the is the boy in the back there chasing after that rabbit, and he is the older brother of Seo, one of the younger little girl, the one girl that was seen in the scene when they first went into the house of Yuba earlier in the video, and they end up going hunting. But the thing is, the guy here standing to Rio's right, I want to say this is Sheen's dad, but they don't even give him a name. They just randomly just have these three going out hunting for food for the village, but they just don't give him a name, which I just kind of found kind of weird. But again, I'm just gonna guess and say that this is Sheen's dad here, but I'm not too sure. Of course, there has to be a bully, somebody who feels like they're superior to everybody else. This person comes up and causes problems for the village. Of course, here for Sheen, this is Sheen here, getting choked by Gon. That's his name. His name is Gon. No relation to Gon from Hunter x Hunter, but that is some cheese. But Gon, pretty much, he's from another village. He's the son of the head villager. He feels like he could just come through and just do whatever he wants, but he's causing problems. And we find out because he said that his something like he was traveling with got broken, and they were coming through the village, and they were basically going to borrow the traveling ride that they were using, whatever it was called. Him and his crew was coming in to borrow something, but we find out that that's not the case. They do it on purpose because they indeed are coming through to cause some issues anyway. And on top of that, Gon is trying to assert some type of dominance over like Seo and Rui. You know, they're it's the typical stuff, guys. Like, you know, they're like, you know, well, you know, I'm because I'm the villager's son. You know, we can eventually become husband and wife at some point. You know, you kind of have to have some type of respect towards me because this is potentially what could happen moving forward in the years to come, in a few years or whatever. So he's just like bullyish and all of that, just thinking like because he's the head villager of his villages, he's the son, he could do whatever he want. But Rio is off to the side. He sees all this happening. He even Gon tried when he walked by, we tried to kick him, but because Rio's so strong, he trips over Rio's leg when he tried to kick him. But then something crucial happens that might shift some things walking into episode 8, and this is it right here. So what basically happens, Gon and his crew come back at night, and that's the thing, like, Rio kind of suspected something may be up, and he just wanted to be just sure, just in case. He gave Seo and Rui this like protective gem to protect them at night, but I believe it was more so like an alarm for him, for just in case something is supposed to go off. And that gem was placed on the floor inside the room where the two girls slept, which was at Yuba's place, because they just didn't trust, you know, they just didn't. Because also there was a tax person that came through. He was there when he saw all this happening. He was just checking out the villager, you know, Yuba's villager's place, and just making sure it was up to par. But he was there. He pretty much was saying, like, you know, it would be best for the girls to sleep at Yuba's place, and she was in agreement. But Gon and crew came back to basically look to rape. That's pretty much what it was looking like it was going to be anyway. They like he was coming back to rape Seo and Rui, or whichever, whomever. But because that gem was placed on the floor inside the room, it shined. It alerted Rio. He comes back and he pretty much just like beats the brakes off of Gon. Right, just a great moment here that I felt, which is really really great. And but the thing is that because he does this, he also notices something about him within him, because he could not stop punching Gon in this moment, that the tax person had to come and stop him, physically pull him off of Gon. But you know, it was just it stuff could shift in such a way rolling into episode 8. Very very, like a huge shift, guys, real huge shift. And I feel like that shift could be something crucial, because the tax collect person was basically saying that because he even asked Gon, like, were you the ones that caused this issue and stuff, and he basically Gon did indeed own up to it. He basically said, we're going to call somebody from the kingdom to come here, to I want to say to do like a full-on investigation. I feel like the people that they're going to be sending are going to be somebody that Rio knows, or they know him, or they recognize him, and it's going to shift some things. But at the same time, with that specific shift, Rio's is saying, he was basically saying here, is that he feels like there has been an inner part of him that's been wanting to cause harm and stuff like that. It's from his past life, and it's still been a part of him. It's just been dormant, and he felt like it was coming out full force in that moment when he was fighting Gon and beating him down. So you know, it's just one of those things, guys, that episode 8 moving forward just might more than likely make things become very interesting moving forward in this anime, when it's pertaining to Rio and, you know, this kingdom, his guards and all this stuff. You know, the village here, all of that stuff could really shift in such a way. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. And of course, this hidden anger within him that he is trying to keep dormant and not allow it to fully come out. So I'm looking forward to what's to come in episode 8 and the rest of the rest of the episodes to come in this anime. But that's pretty much my review, guys, of the episode itself. What did you all think of episode 7 when you sat down to watch it? Let's talk about some things in the comment section below of this video. But other than that, I will talk to you next time with more Spirit Chronicles. Peace, guys.